Newt's mom speaks about Connie Chung. O.J. writes about the crime and how he didn't do it. And is there a new videotape that could land Michael Jackson in a lot of trouble? Inside Edition, right now.
Her whisper caused a whirlwind of controversy. Now Mrs. Gingrich heads back into the eye of the storm.
Well, I wouldn't be able to put any faith in her. I wouldn't be able to tell her any secrets.
Now the speaker's mom speaks about Connie Chung. When Kurt Cobain's suicide shocked the world, Courtney Love found the courage to carry on. But these shocking photos have friends and fans worried that she's in a hole of despair.
Halfway through the evening, she suddenly staggered onto the stage.
Courtney, get help.
Today, Courtney Love. Is she on the road to stardom or on the path to destruction? In the most shocking move yet, accused murderer O.J. Simpson breaks his silence with a book. Is he trying to write his ticket to freedom? And more trouble for Michael Jackson. Published reports say security cameras caught the gloved one going too far. Plus, Martin Lawrence loves to keep him laughing. But after a blow-up at his bachelor party, people are asking, Martin, what's up?
Thanks for watching Inside Edition today. We have a busy broadcast for you, including a disturbing report from London that a video camera on Michael Jackson's property allegedly caught him doing something he should not have been doing. Also, it is destined to be the most controversial book of the year, O.J. Simpson writing about his ordeal. But first, the story that isn't going away, Newt's mom and what she told Connie Chung about Hillary Clinton and Newt. We caught up with Mrs. Gingrich over the weekend, and Scott Rappaport has the latest.
She is no ordinary 68-year-old woman. This is Kathleen Gingrich, mother of the Speaker of the House. He's the third most powerful man in the country. But right now, his mom is getting all the attention for the candid comments she made to CBS's Connie Chung.
What has Newt told you about President Clinton?
Nothing. And I can't tell you what he said about Hillary.
You can't?
I can't.
Why don't you just whisper it to me, just between you and me?
She's a bitch.
Mrs. Gingrich's whisper is still being loudly criticized on Capitol Hill.
It hurt me because I was afraid it would hurt Newty.
But despite the controversy, Newt's mother refuses to be silenced. She spoke to us over the weekend and talked frankly about Connie Chung.
Well, I wouldn't be able to put any faith in her. I wouldn't be able to tell her any secrets. That's for sure. If she could sit and talk with me and get things out of me that were between she and I, and keep on smiling like there was nothing wrong, you know. Two-Face. In a way, I feel sorry for her, that she would have to use that means to get a better audience.
Today on Capitol Hill, Newt was asked about the language used by his now notorious mother.
Are you any plans by you, sir, to ask your mom to stop using the B word in describing the First Lady?
I find that it just sort of, I'll let the fact that you've been asked that question in this press conference stand for itself.
Married 48 years to Newt's father, Bob, their life has been simple, middle class, and peaceful. Until now. All eyes will be on Mrs. Gingrich when she takes up Hillary's invitation for tea and a tour of the White House. Mrs. Gingrich admits she's a little anxious.
I'll be very nervous. Probably drop my cup of tea.
But will Mrs. Gingrich apologize to the First Lady?
I'm not sure. I'll let her lead into that.
And Mrs. Gingrich told us that she is very fond of one potential First Lady, Marilyn Quayle. She says Mrs. Quayle has good common sense. You are watching Inside Edition, and still to come, the widow of suicide rocker Kurt Cobain has people very worried about her. We'll speak with Courtney Love's father.
Do you have any fears that she may go the same way Kurt Cobain did?
Oh, I have some background fears.
Pictures don't bother you?
No. No.
That she's acting like this in a public place?
No. That's her.
When rock singer Kurt Cobain killed himself last April, no one was more affected than his wife, Courtney Love, herself a rock singer. Courtney was left with a baby girl and a lot of problems. Apparently, some of those problems have not yet been resolved, and many are worried about Miss Love, but not her father. Jeff Cole with our report.
As lead singer of the rock band Hole, Courtney Love is quickly becoming a household name. She made the cover of last month's Rolling Stone. And she really hit the big time with her appearance last month on Saturday Night Live. Love's father, Hank Harrison, is aware that rumors of drugs and alcohol abuse have surrounded his daughter in the past, and he was watching when she appeared on the show.
When I saw her on Saturday Night Live, I watched her very, very carefully, taped it, and watched it over and over again. She's fine.
But it wasn't her music that first brought Courtney widespread fame. It was the suicide last April of her husband, Kurt Cobain, lead singer of the band Nirvana. His death made headlines around the world. Since Cobain's death, the spotlight has been on Courtney Love, but her behavior has been strange, to say the least.
She just doesn't seem to have any regard for her life or herself.
Henrietta Knight is a freelance celebrity reporter. She says she saw Courtney at a party last October and that she behaved in a manner that was bizarre and unpredictable.
Halfway through the evening, she suddenly staggered onto the stage, sort of rambling, ranting and raving, and was sort of swearing at the audience.
It happened here in New Orleans at a popular bar called Tipitina's, where a Halloween party hosted by Interview with a Vampire author Anne Rice was being held. General Manager Steve Thomas remembers Love had come in earlier in the day and asked that she be allowed to perform at the party, even though she wasn't scheduled to do so.
It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. She strolled into the club, and I was working on a register over there, and she kept asking me questions, and I was kind of busy because the sound check was going on, and so I turned around and just to say, what? You know, I mean, she was really annoying. And I didn't even know who she was until she said, I'm Courtney Love, and I want to play here tonight.
Love did perform at the party, but according to Knight, things got even more out of hand later in the club's VIP room.
She suddenly flipped, rolling around on the floor. You could just see all these bruises and marks, horrible marks all over her.
Did she appear to be on drugs at the time?
Oh, definitely. I mean, nobody behaves like that unless they're a complete nutcase.
If she was not under the influence of drugs, she should be. Because, I mean, you just don't act like that.
After about 20 minutes, Love abruptly departed.
She just got up and walked off with her friends into the night.
Courtney Love refused our request for an on-camera interview, but she told Inside Edition that she was not high on drugs or drunk that night. She says she was simply winding down after her stage performance. Love has admitted in published reports that she has gone through rehab for drug addiction. However, professionally, everything seems to be going Courtney's way. She scored a gold record with her latest album, Live Through This, and she has a hit single on the charts called Doll Parts.
Doll Parts.
Love told us that since the birth of her daughter, Frances Bean, 2 years ago, and her husband's suicide, she has straightened out her life. To discover another side to Courtney Love, we came here to this horse farm south of San Francisco and talked to Hank Harrison.
I don't think she's in a downward spiral. She's gone through a transitional period in her own career. She's an entrepreneur. She has a lot of responsibilities. She's a band leader. And, she has a baby to take care of, too.
Hank Harrison is a writer and part-time horse trainer who lives in Los Altos, California. Hank and Courtney's mother, Linda, divorced in 1967 when Courtney was just 3 years old. And for more than 10 years, he rarely saw his daughter until he claims she was 15, a runaway on the streets.
Well, I took some responsibility, and I found out that she was in juvenile hall when she was 15, and people called me and said she was, and so I did what I could, and I pulled some strings, and I got her out of juvenile hall.
Hank says Courtney lived with him off and on until she was 18, and then started to receive money from a trust fund set up by her maternal grandparents.
Access to money, she did have it. It was taken away from her for various reasons at various times, but when she got to be a certain age, she was able to get a hold of some of this money, and that gave her a liberation.
It was this financial freedom, according to her father, that allowed Love to immerse herself in the world of rock and roll.
She was definitely jet set, for sure. Well, she would travel with bands, and when she was little, when she was really, young.
Courtney was already part of the rock scene when she met Cobain in 1990. They were married 2 years later.
Do you think she has a drug problem?
I know there was some drugs, but when the baby came, there were no drugs, period.
Do you have any fears that she may go the same way Kurt Cobain did?
Oh, I have some background fears. She assured me that everything was okay. She assured me that I shouldn't worry about things so much, and that basically she was taking care of it.
We showed Courtney's dad the pictures of his daughter's seemingly bizarre behavior in New Orleans.
This does not look like someone who is very healthy at all. It looks like someone that needs
All right,
that
she's
needs
okay.
help.
No, she's cool.
These pictures don't bother you?
No. No.
That she's acting like this in a public place?
No. That's her. She's crazy that way, but not crazy in a pathological sense.
Whether Love is truly on a path to destruction or on the road to rock stardom, only Courtney knows for sure. She told us she's getting help for depression, but that her music is her best therapy.
What kind of advice would you give your daughter?
If you're not getting help, Courtney, get help. I can say that. She's real strong. Real strong. So I'm not worried about it too much.
And according to Ms. Love's publicist, the singer is trying to break into the movies. A project with Keanu Reeves has been mentioned. Plenty more to come as we continue. A wild brawl affects the wedding of Martin Lawrence. Michael Jackson under suspicion again. And O.J. Simpson's new book is about to hit the stores. With the trial of the century just days away, O.J. Simpson is bringing his case to the people. His new book discussing the murder charges against him is certain to be a bestseller. The question is, will it affect the trial? Tony Cox reports.
How do you plead to counts 1 and 2?
Absolutely 100% not guilty.
Up until now, we've heard very little from America's most famous murder suspect, but soon we'll be able to read O.J.'s whole story in his own words. Simpson has written a book entitled I Want to Tell You that will hit the stores next month. The book deals with Simpson's claims of innocence, his relationship with Nicole, and the issue of spousal abuse.
Do you feel that this book that Mr. Simpson is releasing might be there to sway public opinion? No comment.
Simpson dictated the book into a tape recorder from his jail cell. Larry Schiller, Simpson's co-author, has said that O.J. wrote the book in response to over 300,000 letters he's received since the June murders. It's been reported that Simpson told Schiller the book is, quote, my response to the public's response to me, to my pain, to my suffering, end quote. But that isn't sitting too well with the victims' loved ones.
I can't imagine that it's not part of an orchestrated plan to influence public opinion.
Reportedly, when Nicole's mother, Judith Brown, heard about the book, her response was, poor little O.J., I just can't believe it. Where has justice gone? A source tells Inside Edition that in the book, O.J. hints that he is a man wrongly accused and that a burglar was responsible for Nicole's murder.
I'm sure he's trying to make some people feel sorry for him, yeah.
Legal experts say Simpson's attempt to tell his side of the story might backfire.
There's a danger in writing this kind of book because anything O.J. Simpson puts on paper in that book can be used against him. They can use it against him in cross-examination. Of course, that assumes he'll testify, and frankly, my bet is he'll never get near that witness stand.
Whether or not people agree with Simpson's decision to write the book, there's no doubt that many will be interested in reading the fallen hero's story, and that could translate into big profits for Simpson.
They say they're going to run off 500,000 copies. If a person makes $10 a copy profit, that's $5 million for O.J. Simpson.
And where those profits end up is raising another big question. The California Son of Sam law prohibits convicted criminals from profiting from their crimes. But since Simpson hasn't yet been found guilty of anything, he might be allowed to keep the millions, which will probably go to his lawyers. And this week, another highly charged issue will hit the courtroom: domestic violence. A Los Angeles shelter for battered women has been ordered to release any documents it has concerning Nicole Simpson. So far, the shelter hasn't acknowledged if any such documents exist. But if they do, it could be a serious blow to the defense. Bill?
Thanks, Tony, for that report. And when Inside Edition comes right back, bad publicity for both Michael Jackson and Martin Lawrence. Reports from London say Michael Jackson has more trouble in the morals department. The controversy centers around an alleged videotape taken on Jackson's property. Cindy Hom with the story.
Just when it looked like the dust had settled on the Michael Jackson scandal, a London newspaper is reporting that the king of pop may be in hot water all over again. This time, the London Sun says security cameras at the star's Los Angeles home allegedly caught him fondling a 13-year-old boy.
This is allegedly a video, a 27-minute video of a 13-year-old boy being fondled and molested by Michael Jackson.
And according to a published report today, Jackson's new bride, Lisa Marie Presley, is begging Michael to know if there's any truth to these charges. Jackson reportedly denied the story, but a report says Lisa is, quote, letting her imagination run wild, end quote. Last year, the pop star was the focus of an investigation after the father of a 14-year-old boy accused the singer of molesting his son. Those allegations were dropped after Jackson reportedly paid millions to the boy's family.
No one was really satisfied with the investigation. No one really felt that he was entirely cleared.
According to the published report, weeks ago, Jackson's own security team, while monitoring hidden cameras, caught Jackson on tape as he watched TV with a young boy. Allegedly, Jackson then fondled the boy.
The allegation is that the video is a compilation of private moments between Michael Jackson and this 13-year-old boy.
According to the report, a member of the Jackson clan then gave the surveillance tape to the young boy's mother. Reports say the boy's mother at first tried to sell the tape, then changed her mind. According to the newspaper, sources say the tape might be enough evidence to arrest Jackson. But this morning, Jackson's lawyer, Johnny Cochran, said the allegations are a sham and that there is no secret tape.
They're untrue. They're untrue. I talked to Bill Hodgman, and they're definitely untrue.
Have you spoken to Michael about this?
Yes, I did.
And is he upset? What's his reaction?
No, he knows it's untrue. He knows it's untrue.
Even if this tape isn't real, Michael is going to be terribly upset by it. It's going to bring the subject all out in the open, hash it over again. Everybody is going to remember all the bad things that happened before, and he wants us to forget.
Well, we spoke with the LA DA's office today, and while there is no new investigation underway right now, authorities are interested in talking with anyone who has seen that alleged tape. And here's what's up tomorrow on Inside Edition.
Roger was the guy next door, always ready with a helping hand or a kind word. Now, police say behind the friendly exterior was a bold, ruthless burglar. A man who may have stolen thousands of items from hundreds of people for over a decade. Was the guy next door who offered a helping hand helping himself to his neighbor's valuables?
That's tomorrow. And finally today, the star of the TV show Martin got married over the weekend. And guess what? The bachelor party got out of hand. Surprise? Well, Justin Gunn sorts out the I do's and the I didn'ts.
On his hit show Martin, comedian Martin Lawrence always delivers his famous line. But that's just what people are asking about the events surrounding his marriage to a beauty queen over the weekend in Virginia. Things got off to a controversial start the night before at Martin's bachelor party. A man claims he was hit over the head with a champagne bottle, and his lawyers are pointing the finger at someone at Martin's party.
He's got a 16-stitch cut that looked
it looked like he had his hit opened up pretty good.
Then on Saturday, Martin exchanged vows with former Miss Virginia, Patricia Salval. The ceremony, which was attended by Will Smith and other celebrities, was virtually a royal wedding for the quiet Virginia town of Norfolk.
I watch them on TV. I wanted to see them in real life.
But fans knew something odd was up when at the last minute the ceremony was moved from this quaint church, already decorated for the event, to this hotel. Even some of the 600 guests didn't know where to go.
We're going back and we'll make some telephone calls.
As of 12 o'clock today, when we as security got here, we were told that the wedding was not going to be held here in Portsmouth, that it had been moved to another location.
Some say the wedding was moved to beef up security after the incident at Martin's bachelor party the night before.
There's a significant scar on the top of his head that he will probably wear forever.
Barton Daniel is one of the lawyers representing the man who says he was attacked after toasting Martin at this nightclub.
The young man lost quite a bit of blood.
Our client was just welcoming him here. And because of that, he ended up with a bunch of stitches in his head.
Police have said they don't think Martin was involved in the incident. On the morning after his wedding, he wouldn't stop to talk to our camera.
How's the wedding?
If we decide to file suit, you can believe that we'll have some heavy meat.
Who knows? And that is it for us today. Thanks again for watching Inside Edition on our 6th birthday. I'm Bill O'Reilly. We'll see you tomorrow.